Hey, hey, hey. What up, it's your boy Saint, and thanks for being here. It's crazy how this universe works, how I am works, how this life force that is living through us works. So crazy. So I woke up feeling a bit down today. Some decisions and choices that I regret making, that I regret making. So I was like, damn, can't believe I did that. Shouldn't have done that. And in that very moment, I was thinking about a couple of my own messages, right? And I'm saying to myself, what am I doing? What did I do? And I realized that it's only us, the small I, that causes ourselves um, shadows, causes ourselves suffering, you know? It's only us that causes ourselves suffering because we do something, right? We say something, we go somewhere, and to us, that was the wrong move. So we toss and turn about that regret of the move that we made when in our eyes it could be wrong, right? But in divine's eyes, it's actually perfect because it needed to be done. It needed to be said. You needed to be there. You were exactly where you needed to be, right? And you did exactly what you needed to have done. It's something that we eyes, the small eyes, could only regret. But divine, it's perfect. There's no way you can be off track. There's no way. Like, like you make a mistake and you're like, oh shucks, I made that mistake, man. I gotta put myself back. You know, I messed up there. I put myself back on track. You're doing nothing and you're not putting yourself back on nothing. You always are on track. You always are on track. There's no way you can step out of track. It's impossible to do that. To be off track. It's impossible. Every where you are is exactly where you need to be and you're on track. So I guess my message today is to let go of the burden of free will. Let go of the burden of decision making and believing that you made the wrong decision and regretting it and tossing and turning. I guess all we can do is learn from what we would call the mistakes. And Source wants us to learn from what we would call the mistakes and do what is supposed to be done again. Because it's not us that's doing it. If you're learning from it, you learn from it and do differently. But if you're learning from it and you're not supposed to do differently, you still fall back into it and you say, shit, this is the same mistake that I made before. I should have known. But you couldn't have known because it's exactly what you should have done again. So yeah, the decision making, right? When you're in it and you're making this decision, you're like, I'm making this decision, right? And it's okay because that's how you're supposed to feel, right? Like you're feeling like, oh, I'm in control right now. So you make the decision and it becomes a nice decision. And you're like, yeah, I did it. But again, it's Source. It's the big I am that does it. You make the decision and you judge it as a bad decision. It's still Source. It's still divine. It's still the big I am that did it. So let go of that burden of those of those decisions that you're making, anytime, every time that you're making them, and after, most importantly, is after you made them, because that's when the suffering comes, that's when the regret comes, that's when you believe it to be a mistake or wrong. That's when it comes up. It arises after you've made the decision, and you're like, oh shucks, you're looking back and you're like, I shouldn't have done that. Let go of that burden and know that you can rest. You can rest assured that it's just God. You can rest assured that it's divine. You can rest in that and know that even though you don't see it now, a month will go by and you see it. That, oh my word, that was a good decision. Oh shucks, what was I suffering there for? What was I suffering there for? Because it all worked out in the end. It actually worked out better than I expected. I mean, if I didn't do that, then the relationship would have not been as strong as it is now. So why am I regretting going through such a rough patch because of a decision that I made? But because I did that, now we're at a better place. Mm. If I didn't leave the job and regretted and was thinking, oh, it was a bad move, now I'm not making no money. But because I left that job, I was sitting at the park and I met someone that offered me a job. And now I'm in a better job, better place, a happier place, a higher vibrational place, earning better money, working better hours. Wow. I remember crying for 1 month because of leaving, because I left that job, and tossing and turning in my bed in depression. And I said, why, God, why have you forsaken me? You know? And now I'm like, oh, God, you had my back from that time. It's so crazy because God had your back. You had your back at birth. Like, think about it. You had your back at birth. Every decision you've made growing up to the point that you are has been a series of synchronicities with the universe. Every decision you made, every second, every place you've been, everything, every person you've met is all synchronicities. Imagine that. And you want to be out here thinking you control things. You want to be out here thinking you are what? This is bigger than the small I. It's absolutely bigger than the small I. And you can go on doubting and saying, no, I'm in control and there is free will and whatnot, and but you gotta know that at the very least, I'll make it at the very least, so I could just, drop into your spirit at least. At the very least, you are guided. Huh? Let's put it like that. At the very least. So I don't impose too much on your belief systems and your programming. At the very least, you are guided, and you should just relax, rest, and let go into that guidance. Surrender into that guidance. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to make this a short one. I just woke up and I thought I would drop this. Um, Thank you guys for being here. If you love what I'm talking about, I try not to go too deep into these things. But if you love what I'm talking about, hit me with a subscribe, hit me with a share, hit me with a like, drop that comments, it helps the algorithms. I heard that on a video once. Ooh. Anyway, guys, have a beautiful, beautiful day or night. Thank you.